Learning Styles and Cultural Preferences, presented to you by Casey Rogers. Okay, let's be honest for a second. Have you ever sat in a class, stared at the teacher, and thought, what are they even talking about? While the person next to you is nodding like they just had a spiritual awakening. The thing is, it's not because one of us is smarter than the other. It's most likely because we all learn in completely different ways. There's also culture, where we're from, how we are raised, and what we value. It all affects how we show up in the classroom. Today we're going to be talking about two things: how your learning style affects how you engage in class, and how your culture and communication style can totally change how you experience school, and how teachers can make classrooms better for everyone. The VARK model was created in 1987 by a New Zealand teacher named Neil Fleming. He noticed that some students did really well with certain teaching methods but struggled with others. So he developed VARK as a simple way to explain learning preferences and help teachers match their teaching style to how students like to learn. The V in VARK stands for visual learning style. These kids learn better with charts and graphs, outlines, visual aids, and stuff like that. The A in VARK stands for auditory. These kids learn better with podcasts, verbal instructions, discussions, and recordings. The R in VARK stands for reading and writing. These kids learn better with books, dictionaries, note-taking, assessments. The K in VARK stands for kinesthetic learning. These kids learn better with role-playing, scenario training, and hands-on activities. A fact to note, though, is today researchers say that VARK is more of a helpful guide than a strict science, because most people learn best with a mix of styles, not just one. When you are a teacher, you are going to have students with many different types of learning styles. It is important for you as a teacher to know this because this will or should affect the way you teach. While teaching a class, you need to find all the different styles of learning your students have. Once you do that, incorporate those into your lessons and the way you teach. For example, some students may learn best by seeing pictures and diagrams, while others might need to hear explanations or talk about ideas. Some students will prefer to read and write things down, and others will need to move, build, or do activities with their hands. By mixing these methods, you give every student a fair chance to understand and succeed in your class. When teachers use many styles, learning becomes more fun, more engaging, and more effective for everyone in the classroom. Like we talked in previous videos, culture affects the way we view the world and how we live. Culture can also affect how we learn too. People learn in different ways depending on their culture, like their religion and where they live. For example, in some religions, learning might include stories, traditions, or memorizing important teachings. A teacher working with those students might use more storytelling or respect quiet study time. In big cities, students may be used to fast-paced lessons, using technology and having lots of choices. In rural areas, learning might be more hands-on, with examples from farming, nature, or community life. Communication styles matter too. Some groups prefer very direct talking, where you say exactly what you mean. Others are more indirect, where you show respect by listening, waiting your turn, or being polite instead of arguing. If a teacher doesn't notice these differences, students can get confused or feel uncomfortable. But if teachers pay attention to cultural values and communication norms, they can choose the best way to teach so everyone feels respected and learns well. So what can we do as teachers to create an inclusive environment? 1. We can have open communication and engagement with parents and the community, because cultural context is shaped at home and in communities. 2. We can incorporate cultural relevant curriculum and have resources available for students, because students feel more seen and valued when their cultures are represented. 3. We can model inclusive language and behavior, because students emulate educators' behaviors. 4. We can support all learning styles, because cultural backgrounds can influence learning styles. 5, we can promote creative thinking and collaborative learning because sometimes kids work better in groups and together. 6, we can reflect on our own personal biases. Teachers' unconscious biases can affect expectations and behavior in children and how we see children. 7, we can create a respectful and safe environment because students must feel safe to express their identity. Knowing how people learn and respecting cultural differences makes classrooms better for everyone. Learning isn't a one-size-fits-all.